everybody, welcome back to another Jackson Jet Setting Cruise video. Today we're comparing Royal Caribbean's two private destinations in the Bahamas and the Caribbean, Perfect Day at Coco Cay and Labadee in Haiti. Perfect Day at Coco Cay is probably what you're seeing on most of the Royal Caribbean advertisements nowadays. They put a lot of money into their new water park and lots of the beach clubs, whereas Labadee is a little bit more rustic, but does have a really cool zip line. So let's take a look at each one of these destinations, see how they compare, and see which one wins. Maybe you're in between itineraries that visits one or the other, so hope this video helps out in that planning process. So first we're going to take a look at location. So on the island of Hispaniola is Labadee in the country of Haiti. There's actually a town there, but nearby is the peninsula that Royal Caribbean has leased until 2050. You see that right there with the big old cruise ship. One cruise ship per day in there, and then they have a little bit of jungle area where the zip line and the roller coaster are. Whereas Coco Cay, really close to Miami on its own private island in the Bahamas. This is where they put $250 million worth of investment over the last few years. 2 ships per day can port here, and you'll see exactly what there is to do at each of these destinations in this little section called Things to Do while ashore. So Labadee, definitely a different look than the Bahamas. The biggest thing here is the Dragon's Breath zipline. 2,600 feet long, 50 miles an hour, the longest zipline over water in the world. This is going to be a major hit for any kids or adults that are porting in Labadee. Runs a little over $200, so keep that in mind. You do have the Superman style of seating there, or just the regular old zipline seated option. So if that is a major thing for you, definitely take advantage of that. If it's a little too adventurous for you, you can still get some of the same views on the Dragon's Tail roller coaster here. So this is kind of one of those mountain roller coasters that you actually control the braking. So keep that in mind. That's really more like $20 a person. It's a lot cheaper. If you're into the private destination experience, you have many cabanas that you can rent that are right on the ocean. I think these are really cool and kind of dig into the rocks there. You also have some excursions outside of Labadee that kind of get you out of the controlled environment. They have some catamarans and boats that'll take you out to the shoreline and into this kind of private beach experience. There's a really beautiful island here that you can see that I was panning and checking out. We actually did one of those excursions. We didn't go onto the island, but I think it's a really cool option for those that maybe have been to Labadee before. We were arriving on Oasis of the Seas, and really just wanted to see a little bit of the country since we hadn't been to Haiti in a while. Now there's also a lot that's free at Labadee. Obviously all the beach shares are free that aren't private cabanas or in a private beach club setting. So you can take advantage of those. You can watch some of the dancing and the music. There's shopping, which isn't free, but it's free to look at least. And then there's some nature trails and historical trails with some of the sugarcane production that was in the area. There's 2 sides to the peninsula, both with 2 different beaches. The Adrenaline Beach is what we're looking at here. That's where the flight line actually zips over. You also have your floating bar there. And then on the other side is Columbus Cove, and that's a much more relaxing experience. You have a good view of the ship. Some decent snorkeling. I really felt like the water quality and the water clearness here was really great. So if you're looking for a relaxing day, I think that Labadee is really a great option, especially as part of like a 7-day cruise. It's nice to get off the ship, not have to worry about things. We'll talk about food and drink in a little bit, but overall, plenty to do here that's free. You can just hang in a hammock all day. There's some playgrounds and some splash pads for the kids. You don't really have to blow the budget out here. Really the biggest ticket item is going to be that zip line, and then you can do some snorkel excursions, which are pretty reasonable, honestly, compared to other places that you might port on a Caribbean trip. Now let's talk about Coco Cay. So Perfect Day at Coco Cay, big deal. $250 million, as I've said before. This water park, a big part of it. Tallest water slide tower in North America. As someone who's ridden these water slides, most intense water slides that I have ever ridden, you're really hugging those turns on that big red slide that you see at the very top there. You are hauling down as you exit that water slide. There's 2 big water slide towers there, some with racing slides, some with tube slides, and then 5 or 6 slides that are coming off of that main water slide tower. Really fun for the whole family here. This is an extra charge though, so I got in for about $50 on a Black Friday sale, but I've seen some entries go up to almost $200 per person, depending on some sailing. So one big tip with Royal Caribbean is always watch the price of the excursions that you're booking through the app. They go on sale often, and if you're sailing around that Black Friday time or can book those things around that Black Friday time, that's going to save you a bunch of money. So that's probably going to be the biggest ticket for kids and families. You can come and go from the water park. You basically have that loaded onto your SeaPass card. So you can check this out for part of the day, maybe get off the ship first before the lines, grow really, really long here, and then go check out the rest of the island. In addition to all the water slides here, they also have a wave pool, which is super fun for the little kids as well as some bigger kids. They have some rock climbing walls that you fall off the wall and you're falling into water. Not anything too scary. It's more made for, under 10, I would say. Lots of little play areas for the kids, splash pads, etc. There's one splash pad that's actually included in your experience a perfect day at Coco Cay. And again, like Labadee, you don't have to pay extra money here. There's plenty of things to do that are free. You can bring your own snorkel gear and go snorkeling. You can also rent that as well. Lots of beach chairs. There's volleyball. There's ping pong. There's all sorts of fun things all around the island. This Oasis Lagoon is a completely free activity. They of course have a swim up bar that's very popular with the adults on the cruise, but this massive pool is really a highlight and super fun and very refreshing on a very hot day in the Bahamas, I will have to say. This also has a nice DJ going on through most of the day, gives a really good party atmosphere at one side of the pool, and that zero entry area is better for like those young kids and families. So do not have to buy entry into the Thrill Water Park. You can just laze away at the Oasis pool for free or on one of the beaches. So $250 million is a lot to spend on a private island in the Bahamas, so you gotta think that Royal Caribbean is trying to recoup their investment any way they can. So the extra charge attractions are definitely being raised in price to kind of juice that bottom line for Royal Caribbean. We saw it with the water park I mentioned already. You're gonna see that with the private beach destination that's open to both families and adults, a little bit elevated food, and an infinity pool to hang out in, and then of course these overwater bungalows that can absolutely be thousands of dollars per day. Again, you're only on shore for 8 hours or so. So you can rent that. They have their own private slides, and you have your own butler, which is awesome for families, but can get very, very pricey. As we drone over the Coco Cay Beach Club, that private beach destination, we can take a look at more of the island here. If you're into jet skis, that's going to be an extra charge. Kayaks, stand-up paddleboards, that sort of thing, an extra charge. Basically anything motorized or non-motorized that you're borrowing from Royal Caribbean is going to be an extra charge. Zip line, more of a zip line course than over at Labadee, so that's a little bit of a difference. You do go over some water there, but not as intense as the Labadee version. So now let's talk food and drink. So overall, I'll say that Labadee's food basically is a beach barbecue. Both destinations really a beach barbecue. I would say this is a little bit more rustic. They have some local beers from Haiti that were pretty expensive at $10 a beer, which I thought was a little insane. But I thought the food was decent for another free option. Again, this is all included. If you're in one of those private areas on Labadee, you're going to have a little bit better food options there. And of course, you have some bars that you can visit. And then we were on our excursion and we were actually offered some different rums from Haiti that weren't offered on shore. So that was really cool for me. So on Coco Cay, you have a number of different options. A lot of things are included too. You have some beach shacks that have a different menu than the main buffet area. So I actually got a chicken sandwich here. It was pretty good. They have some mozzarella sticks. And then I was buying some Sands beers. One cool thing is that your beverage package does work at either destination on shore, Labadee and Coco Cay. So if you have that on your cruise, you can drink for free on land. Really awesome. Here's the main buffet area, lots of cool tacos. Felt like the food was actually pretty high quality here. They were making some fresh tortillas for us. Then you have your burgers and hot dogs, etc. But really pretty good food either place. There are some premium options. As I mentioned, the Coco Cay Beach Club is going to have your lobster and filet lunch. So if that's something that you're kind of into and want a little bit more of an elevated experience, there you go. For me, I think the free food options were plenty fine, and if you didn't like anything here, you can go back on the ship. Right as you get off the ship is Captain Jack's. They have some live music here, a bar, and then they actually have paid food options like wings, etc. And then right off of the main fun beach at Coco Cay is this floating beach bar. It does get a little busy, but I did hang out there a little bit. So which destination wins? For me, I think that Coco Cay is probably the best overall destination, but I do like Labadee's kind of laid back feel and just kind of the natural beauty of the area. I think if you're not really someone who's super budget conscious, I think you're gonna have an overall better time at Coco Cay, especially if you're into like those newest and greatest water parks and that sort of thing, which is a big reason why people are visiting Coco Cay. So I think you can't really go wrong with either. Ideally, it'd be great if you can go to both on the same itinerary, but I think that Coco Cay is going to be the winner in my book, but I wouldn't hesitate to visit Labadee, especially just for experiencing a slightly different culture, because Coco Cay really doesn't offer anything that's truly like Bahamian, I would say. So, hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this helps you plan your next cruise vacation a little bit better. If you like these types of videos, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next video.